Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again to another SpeciCare Facebook chat. We are actually continuing our conversation today with Dr. Jared Barrett and Dr. Ken Dixon on discussing the patient's role in his or her cancer care. So we're excited to have Dr. Barrett back with us. I'm Leah Streuber. Again, Dr. Dixon is our Chief Medical Officer at SpeciCare. And for those of you that weren't with us maybe in the last session with Dr. Barrett, just a quick introduction. He is the Associate Professor at Idaho State University, and he is a collaborator with our company, SpeciCare. And so I'm going to ask Jared, if you don't mind, maybe just again telling the audience a little bit about yourself and your involvement with our company, please.
Yeah, not at all. Thank you, Leah, for that introduction. So I've been here at Idaho State University for 3 years now. I completed my PhD in cancer pharmacology research at Duke University, and I've now started my own independent research investigations here. And I met Ken and the team of SpeciCare, which has just been a phenomenal team to collaborate with last year at a conference in Atlanta, Georgia, on the topic of functional precision medicine. And since then, Ken has just done an outstanding job of reaching out and making sure that this important topic of patient care continues to infiltrate even the far corners of the United States here in Idaho. So he's doing a phenomenal job with that. And I have this opportunity to talk with you guys today about the importance of empowering the patient and giving them the opportunity to have the most information that they can have in their patient care. And so I think Ken had a story about taking care of patients and not missing those opportunities. Ken, do you want to kind of talk about that?
Well, thank you for the kind words, Jared, but you're taking over as the interviewer now, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think we want to make a couple of points by telling some stories and sort of going back and forth a little bit. So my story is about a fellow named John Moore, who had his spleen removed in 1976 for something called hairy cell leukemia. And this was actually at UCLA. There was a lawsuit after his surgery because UCLA and his doctor, actually a guy named Dr. Gold, made money from creating a drug for patients of tomorrow. And the decision was actually that he didn't own his tumor tissue. The decision by the California Supreme Court, and it was the analogy that one of the judges used was, if you have something like a chair. If I had a chair in my waiting room, it's my chair. But if I put it out on the curb outside my office, it's anybody's chair. So the moral of my story is, if you have a tumor, it's your tumor when it's in your body. But you have to say that it's my tumor, or you lose control of your tumor. So we at SpeciCare have our consenting process is designed so that the individual patient controls the journey. We're supportive of the pathologist doing the routine pathologic analysis, but it's so important that you keep some of it alive and that you keep your control of your cancer care journey if we're going to move the bar forward for providing the patient options beyond standard options. So that's my story, Jared. I think you've got a rejoinder.
I do. And in fact, those kind of stories are not unique just to the clinical care, but if we go back, 4 decades ago, there's an interesting situation with a young woman named Henrietta Lacks. And I think that's almost a common place name, especially in the cancer research field, because she was a young woman who had cervical cancer, and her tumor was taken out for research purposes, and she succumbed to the disease, unfortunately, but her cells continue to live. And in fact, they're probably the most prevalent cancer cell that's researched today, and tons of her cells have been perpetuated and used in research laboratories to develop cancer therapies, but other kinds of vaccines and understanding genomics and genetics about cancer based off these cells that we now call HeLa. And so there's a lot of opportunities, and while that was very helpful for the scientific and research community to have those cells available to us, it didn't really do Henrietta Lacks a whole lot of good. And I think there's a lot of opportunities if patients know how to direct their tumor tissue so they can turn around and benefit not only future care, but also their own personalized care. And I think if they don't know where to go and what to do with that, they might miss that opportunity. And, you know, there might be even commercialization opportunities, and billions of dollars have been generated off of research studies that have used Henrietta Lacks's cervical cancer cells. So who knows what might outcome from the use and control of a patient's tissue.
So a minute ago, you led into my the other story I wanted to tell, which is about freezing a moment in time. So you said that if you know what to do with it, you can go on and act on it. Sometimes you're not able to get everything together so that you can pull everything off at the right time. And so that's my next story. This is a personal story of being a coach for my 3 kids in park and rec basketball over a 10-year period. Really a lot of fun. And but it was interesting to watch, particularly the young kids. They dribble the ball. Nick Prochak's wife would do this, Leah. So dribble the ball, have an open shot, but you pass it by and you lose that moment in time because all of a sudden you got 3 or 4 other kids around and you no way to shoot. And you miss that moment in time. So what we're trying to do with cryopreservation of the tissue is we collect it, we keep it alive, then we save it in such a way that it's still alive, and you preserve that moment in time where you can either shoot the ball or test the tissue. So that's a major thing that we're trying to do with SpeciCare.
Being a Duke alumni, I can totally relate to a basketball analogy like that. I think those opportunities, they come in every facet of our lives, and we have to be ready to take those shots when they're there and when they're open, because you know timing is everything, and if you miss that timing, opportunity could be gone. And definitely that has held true in the research field as well. We have this opportunity where we're able to take new approaches to helping patients understand how their tumors respond to drugs, and this is through the functional precision medicine testing. Kind of a novel approach in your community, but it's an approach that's been around for many years in other type of situations and scenarios, specifically looking at like infectious disease drugs. They're always about poking the dog and seeing how it reacts, giving the bacteria drugs and seeing if they respond. Well, we got to take that same approach in a cancer setting and assess in real time how the patient and their tumor is responding to different therapies. And I feel like the opportunity for me is now, and I have that open shot to take it. Using that basketball analogy, and working with SpeciCare is giving me the opportunity to an impact and shoot and score in basketball term. So we're looking to make those differences and to push the envelope for cancer research by doing this functional precision medicine testing.
So my last nerd story is actually goes back to the infectious disease analogy. The Gordon Zubrod was picked to be the first director of the medical program at the National Cancer Institute, and they picked him because he was an infectious disease specialist and testing infectious disease drugs. This is the early to mid 50s, and cancer medical oncology was just being born. But your story about doing the drug testing against bacteria is completely analogous to what we're talking about doing against tumor cells. So out of our stories, Leah, you got to pull this all together and make the points for us.
Well, I will do my best. Again, the advances in cancer research and cancer treatment are just, it seems like every day, every week, something new is coming about, and there are people out there, institutions, our company, Jarrett, who are working so hard to make advancements to care for cancer patients. I am a 10-year survivor, and none of this was talked about when I was going through my journey a decade ago. And so saving that moment in time, I would give anything if I had saved my tissue and had it readily available if I need it in the future for additional testing or what have you. And so it's a simple thing to do. It's something that SpeciCare can absolutely help you do. And it's one of the reasons, while we're partnering with people like Jared, so that we can collaborate and move this needle forward. And I think that that's, something that I hope people will think about and look at our website to see what we are doing, why we're doing it, and even give us a call so that we can talk to you about how we can help in the cancer journeys and the care of people. It could be yourself, it could be a family member or a friend. And so make sure that you check out SpeciCare.com, reach out to us, and that's why we're doing these events, because we want to spread the word about what we're trying to do as an organization to help people, why we're collaborating with the people and bringing our guest on to help share our story. And so that's our goal, that's our mission, and I hope that it will spark interest in those of you that are listening to us and watching this today.
And I want to thank Jared. The people that watch this are watching somebody that's going to make an impact in coming years.
Definitely.
Thanks, Ken. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great afternoon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.